Once again, guys, we're back here on the Cronulla Jazz and Blues Festival podcast. Look, thanks for joining us once again tonight. Look, we have such a diverse range of artists here in Australia, and one of the fantastic things I can say is I've never actually met a Helpman Award winner who's also ARIA Award winners. You name it, a whole cast of things. I reckon this guy must carry 2 bags around of special accolades and awards, and thankfully he's going to join us when we hit these stages at the Cronulla Jazz and Blues Festivals in 2 weeks' time, kicking off. And we're going to have a quick chat to the man, the myth, the man who is a legend in so many different ways in genres and both stage, screen, and thankfully live music. So, iOTA, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for your time.
Hi, Adam. How you going?
I'm pretty good, mate. I'm pretty good. I'm losing my voice pretty quickly, but nothing compared to what you guys must go through. So I know I clarified before this recording that we address you as iOTA, but I want to ask you a bit of a hypothesis question. When did Sean meet iOTA?
Geez, that's a good question. Probably 30 years ago. I loved the word.
Yeah.
I think I just found it really interesting. I thought it was a good name for a band. And I've also just been obsessed with changing my name ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be, to kind of live the dream and have a name that just seemed a little bit more exotic, I suppose. But I think it was around 96 or 7 that I actually changed my name legally to iOTA. And I wasn't comfortable being both. It felt right I had to be the one or the other. And it was also my opportunity to finally, live my dream and change my name. And, and I think it's like a good affirmation for, the career that I wanted to have and, just to do what the people that I admired, everyone that the rock stars and movie stars, they all changed their names.
Yeah. I remember I worked with music, so I won't say who it is for privacy reasons, but they had a stage name and they were forever tormented between the differences. They had to become stage name. They had to become the character. And I often said to them, because I toured with them for 6 years, and I said, just make that your name. You have to morph into this character every night. And then the problem is you got to morph out of it. And it was this person's undoing. It was such an emotional roller coaster. Family weren't sure who they were getting with. And I think what you did, fantastic, not just for commercial sense, for branding, but that comfortability in who you are, that freedom to be who you are, and that name and that entity, to become the person, the human that you are and the performance you are. So I think it was a fantastic insight as to who you are as a performer, as you say, 30 years ago.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it was going to be an issue, but I just found it really jarring where I'd walk off stage and then someone would go, "That was great, Sean."
Yeah.
Like, that's weird.
That's weird, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and I believe Alice Cooper had, the opposite. Like he needed to keep Alice for on the stage, but he needed to be, I can't think what his real name is, but he needed to be the guy when he walked off stage, so he could leave Alice on stage.
Yeah, the same thing for the guys from Kiss as well. They had a great trouble. They took the makeup off, and Dean and Paul, when Dean Simmons and Paul Stanley with their original names, they changed for stage names. But I was listening to a podcast with Rick Rubin the other day, and Dean Simmons saying it's funny he didn't know who he was for 6 months. Confidence went right through the floor because that mask was taken away, wasn't it? So I think you had the insight and you did the right thing a long time ago. So congratulations on the courage and the pride that you must have done to be able to do that. It's very important.
Thank you very much.
Go high. You go high. Millions of people are born every year. The sun in your eyes, is that all that you feel? The places you travel are farther than here. Let's keep it a secret.
I used to work in record stores. I don't know. I've always liked to try and think about it, and I love when I can't do it. And you're one example when I can't do it. Where do I put you in a record store? What genre? Because you cross boundaries and you're so diverse in that area. If I had a record store this day and age, God forbid, because I'd be stone motherless broke. But if I had a CD store, record store, you got your new album coming out, where would you say I would best spot to put you on the shelf? What genre, or is it too hard? Should we ideally put you everywhere, but where would you think it would be?
I would guess it would be alternative.
Yeah, yeah,
I suppose.
yeah,
Whatever that is.
yeah. Well, I was about to say, what is that? So it's a great question.
Probably the best place to put it, though. Yeah. I don't know, like you could take one album and put it in rock. You could take another album and put it in folk.
Yeah.
You could split albums up and put them in different categories.
Is that something which you've, I suppose, embraced? I think that's something, listening to your music always, you've embraced that you have that freedom almost to go across borders and boundaries and borderlines with the music and see where it takes you.
I just like so many different kinds of music, and I've been inspired by, a lot of different, and I love metal, and I love, dance music and just anything in between. Yeah, I mean, I just write songs, I write rock songs, I write folk songs. I just love, I love doing that. And yeah, it has been it's been an issue with past record companies.
I was about to say, record companies would love that.
Just saying, like, you've got to give us a consistent, cohesive album. It's like, I can't. Like, I don't want to. It's just,
And that's the thing, like record companies are consistent and cohesive. Consistent is quality to me. Consistent is being able to contribute and create something which means something to you as an artist, but also to your audience. That's the consistency, whereas record company wants you to be genre A, genre B, genre C. And I think, yes, fine, we've changed our record company model a lot in the last 10 years and independents have become so much stronger. I think that's a good thing, especially for an artist like yourself, where you can cross those borders and those boundaries and just continue to be that consistent.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's just boring, for me to write an album of just all the same kind of rock songs or acoustic-based songs. It's just, I've got to have more color, dynamics.
Yeah. I think between you and me, if it becomes a million seller, I'll take a small cut. An iOTA country album. I can see it right now. Country's big at the moment. iOTA in Nashville, live in Nashville. I can see it happening.
I think that's a great idea too. I think there's a little bit of country in quite a few of my songs. So, yeah, that's a fantastic idea.
Is that something that you've seen in your audience as they've grown with you and evolved with you? And I think in some senses expanded as well in recent years. That your audience has become more diverse and more accepting of all these different genres as opposed to wanting a particular style?
Yeah, I've never found that my audiences have been kind of disappointed that there's an eclectic mix of songs on an album. They are people that like a lot of different kind of music, and they're just into it. They're up for it, and they're really keen to know what's coming next.
Yeah. I think in one sense technology allows them to come into that side. I can see what's coming next. We communicate. On the other sense, I think some artists I've spoken with sometimes feel that's a bit of pressure because the fan base is so immersed in their artists' lives through Facebook and websites and Insta and so on that they're over the new album 3 months. They want something new. They want another song, another single, another album. Is that a pressure which you felt as technology's evolved?
I don't think so, no. I just feel like you're going to get something new when I've got it.
Yeah, okay. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think people get used to, my style, and that's the way he likes to do it, so we'll wait patiently.
I asked the same question. Not sure if you're familiar. There's a famous songwriter called Guy Clark, and worked with Towns Van Zandt and a lot of other country artists, and a singer as well, and I asked him the same question. He goes, no, I've been recording for 50 plus years and I've made 7 albums. He goes, they're my songs, you can wait. A long drag on a cigarette, and I thought to myself, I've never been afraid of a musician before, but I don't want to ask him when his new album's coming up. But I think that strength, that independence, is something which is, we talked before about consistency and quality. Well, that's something that you have by maintaining that strength and that reserve, because so many artists now, aren't they? They're so keen to record and put it out, record and put out, record and put out, Yeah. I got a press release from an artist the other day, and she was releasing 2 songs a month for a year. Like, there's nothing. It can't be good. It's too much. And I feel bad for us.
We are sort of inundated with a lot of options, aren't we, these days? Music and the way we consume it.
72 hours of music is uploaded to Spotify every minute of the day.
How much?
72 hours a minute.
Wow.
That's a lot of content and so on. But I think, and you know, we're a similar age bracket. I think that's not necessarily a bad thing because growing up, Bon Jovi had a new album coming out, or Jimmy Barnes had a new album coming out. That's all you heard for months. Triple M would just play it over and over. We were told what to listen to almost. Whereas now, I found some amazing things. You know, Hawaiian music and so on. I was recently doing some work with an Indian artist, and some of the people say, "Oh, it's Indian music." Well, it's not. India has a fantastic jazz scene, has a fantastic country scene, has an amazing blues scene. So, this world's opened up, and yes, unfortunately, it doesn't pay anywhere near what it should. But if you're a music lover, and I think that's where we all come from, artists and fans alike, that we get the benefits of it. But let's move on, because that's a discussion we can be for hours and hours and hours. We'll have another long chat about another night.
Well, I should say I've also taken advantage of those platforms, and I've done the same thing. I discovered so much music that I never would have found just from randomly listening to music, and it's great. I love it.
Yeah. There's one, I don't know if you've ever heard of the thing called Scott Bradley's Postmodern Jukebox. So it's like a 18-piece jazz and blues band. And what they do is they take whatever's the top song on the charts and they'll go and re-record it in a 1930s blues arrangement. So and then they do classics as well. So they've done like a big Mama Thornton version, a big, beautifully sounded, beautiful African-American woman doing a big bluesy version of Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. Kills the original. I love the original, but it's great. And they tour Australia just off these covers at the Opera House, you know, once a year, you know, and it's a great thing. But again, you'd never have heard of them before if we were prescribed like we. I want to delve into a little bit around your creative process, not just with your music, but also with your stage performances. Having the musical background as iOTA and as a creative artist in that field in music, does that help you when the time comes to morph into a Frankenfurter or a Hedwig? Does that help you in that sense with that dual side to your career?
Yeah, certainly vocally it's been great that I have that background in the music industry. And I have for theatre, I have a sort of it's not a theatre voice. It's so it is kind of unique in the theatre world to have a bit more of a rock and roll voice. Yeah. So that's been an advantage. However, you know, getting into theatre I had no idea what I was up for. Like, it was very hard to learn the stagecraft and just to learn choreography and action and, you know, all that, the repetition of 8 shows a week. And so there was a lot for me to learn. And, a lot of it was it was difficult, and Hedwig was my first theatre show, and it was a real trial by fire. It was a really difficult time, but it paid off.
It's a great role, and you won a Helpman Award for that as well.
Yes.
Fantastic, congratulations! I mean, if that's your first stab at the fire, what a great role.
Yeah.
And then I want to move into something a little bit more recent. Fans will see this when we edit this video. Did George let you keep the flaming guitar from Mad Max? Please tell me you gave that to you as a gift.
No.
No. Damn it.
Unfortunately not.
Was that CGI or was that real flame coming out of that?
There was CGI in the final product, but what it did have flame.
It did light up.
And you could operate it with the whammy bar.
Yeah.
And had like gas coming up through. There was a tube coming up the neck, and it got really dangerous because of the wind.
I was about to say that looks mega dangerous.
Yeah.
That role there, it's like, for those who don't know, we're talking about iOTA played this amazing guitar god in Mad Max Fury Road.
The Doof Warrior.
The Doof Warrior, that's it. And it's a great piece. And it's George Miller does this beautiful cinematography. You're strapped to the front of a truck. This elastic sort of harness and so on.
Bungee.
Yeah, big bungee thing, playing this amazing guitar. Flames are pouring out of it. You'll see some vision on it when we edit this together, but it's just an amazing visual effect. And all I could do at the credits was go, who played that role? Who played that role? Who played that role? It's like, that's who played that. So what an amazing experience. How did that come about for you?
Well, you know, just through my agency, the role that just for me to go and do a screen test. I also told my agency, because they tried to film Fury Road in Broken Hill, but they had to move over to Namibia. But when I heard they were getting right, I said to my agent, I must be in this film. Please get me something. And it was just luckily The casting agent wanted to see me for a guitar role. The brief was this character is somewhere between Keith Richards and a scarecrow. And I just went in to get that role. Like I dressed up like I was in Mad Max 2. I had feathers and leather and makeup and black nails, and I took my guitar in and a little amplifier strapped to my, and I just played and jammed and
nailed it.
It was very like a week later. They said come and meet George, and he said, do you want to do the role? Do you want to be in the film? And I'm just so excited about that. It was an absolute dream come true. Like,
it's an absolute beautiful piece of cinematography. Have you seen the black and white version at all?
I haven't. No, I mean I've seen that it's around, but I haven't watched it.
It's the film has been done like what they call that silver tone, which is that noir sort of black and white. Your scene is so colourful and so epic, but then it has a whole different meaning when you see it in black and white too. So you can see it. It's a definite thing. But an amazing cinematographer, You're part of Australian cinema history now, because literally that is one of our biggest legacies in history. So not just for the music, not just for the theatre, but now for the film as well.
Yeah,
great diversity.
Incredible experience. Just hanging from the truck in the desert with flames and explosions and. It was like I was dreaming.
Yeah.
I was there for months. It was a very long time to be away in Africa.
The scene itself, for those who don't know, the scene itself is actually in the records for, I think, the longest recorded car chase scene in cinema history and so on. It goes for about 48 minutes, this car chase. We'll put a link into there. You can definitely catch it. Come back to music. What's next on your horizon, iOTA? Are we recording anytime soon? Or what are we thinking?
Not as of yet, but I'm thinking about it. I'm talking about it. I've got hundreds of songs that need to be recorded. So I would say it's going to be in the near future, but nothing is solid yet. But just, always playing, always thinking. I mean, I love being in the recording studio. I wish I could make a career out of that, because that's where I am. But just, perhaps some more gigs coming up and,
Speaking of gigs, we're here for the Cronulla Jazz and Blues Festival. This is our special podcast for the festival. And we've got you, where we got you, 29th of May down at the Brass Monkey. Great intimate venue. What can we expect from your show that night?
Well, I mean, the last couple of years, I've really rediscovered my guitar, and I've just been doing some gigs, and it's been really nostalgic. And, the Hipbone Connection, my first album, isn't available anywhere. Or on any of the platforms for reasons I won't go into, but people are just always constantly asking me about Hipbone Connection and can you play this song from that, and can you play it? So there's going to be a lot of Hipbone Connection. I've gone back and had to relearn a lot of songs from that album, and I'll be doing as many as I can. We'll be taking requests. I'm going to do songs from all of my albums. I will be, I'll probably do something from Rocky Horror, maybe something from Hedwig, something from Smoke and Mirrors. It'll just be, the shows are never the same. It's just it'll be random, and it's going to be beautiful. And I just love playing at the Brass Monkey, so I can't wait. Beautiful
intimate venue with an amazing artist, guys. If you're watching this, we're going to put this up as quick as possible, because this will be standing room only. Okay, so the amazing artists like iOTA. It's beautiful. It's one of our favourite venues, just not just in the Shire, but in Sydney. We love the Brass Monkey, and we get a chance to really connect with an artist and their art and their craft and soul. And people like iOTA are so generous in what they share when they perform. Thank you so much for your time this evening. I really do appreciate it. I want to ask you one last question I ask of everyone. You walk on stage, whether it be at the Brass Monkey or other venues around the world, what's it feel like to be iOTA in that moment?
It's kind of a bit scary, and I'm generally filled with adrenaline, and it's kind of a frightening moment until I sit down and sort of chill, and I always get very shaky hands when I play my first song.
Yeah.
But it's usually at the end of the first song I kind of can relax and feel. But I mean, it's a great job, and not all of us get to walk into our job and hear a round of applause. So I mean, I'm just very fortunate, and I can't wait. Looking forward to it.
And I'll throw a part B into that. When you're on stage and you see someone singing a song that you wrote or recorded, does that give you somewhere between the warm feeling and the buzz? Or because that would be, I would love to be able to do what you do, but I can't write or sing for love nor money. But I would imagine that would be an amazing feeling, wouldn't it?
It's beautiful, beautiful. And, there's been times where you don't have to sing, if the audience is right behind you and they just all start singing, and it's, it's an incredible feeling.
Yeah, well, we're going to get to share that incredible feeling, as we said, 29th of May, the Brass Monkey, all part of the amazing Cronulla Jazz and Blues Festival. And thank you so much, iOTA, for joining in with the festival this year. And thank you so much for your time this evening. We'll see you in the Shire in a few weeks' time.
Thanks, Adam. Thank you.